Have you ever heard of someone feeling pain in a body part they don't have anymore? Or feeling a hand move that isn't actually there? It sounds impossible, but millions of people experience this every day. Welcome to the strange world of phantom limbs, where the brain feels sensations from limbs that are physically gone. Today, we're diving deep into why phantom limbs feel real, what this tells us about the brain, and the surprising therapies that can actually shut off these sensations. Stick around, because the more we explore, the stranger and more fascinating it gets. And just wait until we get to the part where people feel phantom limbs from body parts they never even had. That one will change how you think about the brain forever. Life isn't just yours, it's everywhere, it's everything, and we're here to explore it all. Be curious and stay curious. Phantom limbs are sensations, sometimes painless, sometimes intensely painful, from a limb that is no longer part of the body. They happen most commonly after amputations, but also after nerve damage or even spinal cord injuries. People report tingling, temperature changes, pressure, cramping, full-on pain that feels sharp, stabbing, or burning. Some say it's like their missing hand is clenched so tightly it hurts. Others swear they can feel their lost foot touching the floor when they get out of bed. But here's the twist. The brain doesn't actually know your limb is gone. Your brain built a lifelong map of your body, and removing a limb doesn't magically erase that map. But if the brain's map is the problem, how does that map get created in the first place? And why does it sometimes misbehave even when the limb is still there? We'll uncover that brain secret in the next section. Inside your brain is a strange little creature known as the cortical homunculus, a distorted map representing every body part, some parts like the hands, lips, and face. Take up huge portions of the brain because they require precise control. When you lose a limb, the brain area dedicated to it doesn't just go quiet, it gets invaded by neighboring brain regions. For example, the brain area for the face sits right next to the area for the arm. So sometimes touching a person's cheek can trigger sensations in their phantom hand. Yes, people can feel their phantom fingers when someone strokes their face. The brain rewires extremely quickly, which is both miraculous and sometimes problematic. But if the brain rewires so fast, does that mean phantom limbs are simply a wiring glitch? Or is there something deeper, maybe even emotional or psychological, that fuels these sensations? Let's explore that next. Your brain doesn't just store what happened to your body, it stores how it felt. If a limb was injured or painful before amputation, phantom limb sensations often reflect that same pain. This means the phantom limb is not just neurological, it's emotional. It's a memory echoing through the nervous system. Some researchers believe phantom pain may be the brain's way of trying to complete the movement it remembers, flexing, stretching, relaxing. But because the limb no longer exists, the brain becomes stuck in a feedback loop, unable to resolve the sensation. This also explains why stress, trauma, or anxiety can make phantom limb sensations worse. So, if emotions can affect phantom limbs, can the mind also turn them off? There's a therapy so strange and unexpected that it might shock you, and it's coming up next. One of the most famous treatments for phantom limb pain is the mirror box, developed by Neuroscience Vilai and Ramachandran. Here's how it works. A patient places their intact limb inside a box with a mirror. When they move it, the reflection creates the illusion that the missing limb is also moving. The brain sees this and says, "Oh, my missing limb is working again." And the pain often disappears, sometimes instantly. It's a mind trick that tricks the brain into healing itself. Why does this work? Because the brain prioritizes visual feedback over almost everything else. Seeing a phantom limb move resolves the brain's confusion and quiets the signals that create pain. But if a simple mirror can reduce pain, could virtual reality and even future brain-computer technologies do something even more powerful? That's where we're heading next. Today, researchers are using VR to give patients a virtual version of their missing limb. When they move sensors on their stump or remaining muscles, the VR limb moves too, giving real-time feedback to the brain. This provides relief from phantom pain, better control over prosthetics, a sense of ownership over a new digital limb. Some patients say VR gives them the feeling of having their limb back, even when they remove the headset. And then we have neural interfaces, chips and sensors that receive feedback directly from the nerves. Robotic prosthetics now allow people to feel pressure, temperature, and even texture through electronic signals interpreted by the brain. We're reaching a point where losing a limb no longer means losing sensation forever. But this raises a strange question. If technology can create new sensations, can phantom limbs appear in people who never lost a limb or never had one? You won't believe the answer. Here's one of the most surprising discoveries in neuroscience. Some people who are born without a limb, who never had it, still experience phantom limb sensations. How's that even possible? The brain is pre-wired with a default body plan, like a blueprint, even before birth. Your brain expects 2 arms, 2 legs, 10 fingers, 10 toes. This means phantom limbs aren't just memories of past body parts. They're part of the brain's innate design. People born without limbs often describe phantom fingers, phantom toes, the sensation of a phantom hand opening or closing. The body map exists whether the body does or not. But if the brain has this built-in body map, does that mean phantom sensations can happen without any injury at all? The answer connects to something even more bizarre. Believe it or not, you've likely experienced phantom sensations yourself. Ever felt your phone vibrating in your pocket when your phone wasn't there? That's a phantom vibration syndrome. Ever felt like your glasses, ring, or watch was still on your body after taking it off? Your brain builds sensory expectations based on habit, and those expectations can linger. These minor phantom sensations give us a clue. The brain constantly predicts what your body should feel, and sometimes it gets it wrong. But if the brain can misfire in small ways, what happens when the entire system becomes confused after trauma? Let's look at how the nervous system tries to reconnect after amputation. When a limb is lost, thousands of nerves are suddenly cut off. But those nerves keep sending signals that say, I'm still here, I'm in pain, I need attention. The brain interprets this as physical sensation, even though the limb is gone. Meanwhile, nearby brain regions start expanding to take over the unused neural territory. The result is a chaotic neural battle that leads to tingling, itching, cramping, or pain. Some researchers believe phantom limb pain is the brain trying desperately to regain control of the missing limb. But here's the most mysterious part. If the brain wants to regain control, why does it sometimes create phantom limbs that feel twisted, paralyzed, or frozen? The answer lies in the brain's internal conflict. Coming up next, many patients describe their phantom limb as being stuck in an uncomfortable position. A phantom hand might feel clenched, a phantom foot might feel twisted backward. This happens because the brain has no real feedback to confirm the limb's position, so it locks in the last known sensation. If a limb was injured or frozen before amputation, the brain may preserve that posture indefinitely. This is why mirror therapy can be so powerful. It gives the brain new sensory feedback, allowing it to unlock the phantom limb. But if feedback can unlock the limb, could the brain eventually rewire so completely that phantom limbs disappear forever? Let's explore that possibility. For some people, phantom limbs fade over time. For others, they persist for decades. Why the difference? It appears to depend on several factors. How strongly the brain mapped the original limb, whether the limb was painful before loss, emotional and psychological state, how much sensory feedback the brain gets afterward. Therapies like mirror boxes, VR, TENS stimulation, meditation, and nerve surgery can help. But complete disappearance isn't guaranteed. Some neuroscientists argue phantom limbs will only disappear when the brain fundamentally rewrites its internal body map, and that's a challenging process. But what if, instead of erasing phantom limbs, future technology could actually give people new limbs, digital, robotic, or augmented ones, integrated directly into the brain? That's our next frontier. We are entering an era where the brain may, one day, connect seamlessly with robotic or digital limbs. With neural implants, prosthetics can feel real, responding to muscle signals, nerve signals, and even thought. Imagine a robotic hand that feels more sensitive than a human hand, legs that run faster than Olympic athletes, digital limbs controlled entirely by imagination. And the wildest part, these new limbs might integrate into the brain's body map so completely that the brain feels them as naturally as biological ones. This technology won't just help amputees, it could redefine what a body even means. But with all of this potential, one question remains: what does phantom limb research tell us about consciousness itself? That's where everything comes together. Phantom limbs force us to confront a mind-blowing truth. Your sense of self is not based on your physical body, it's based on your brain's model of your body. Your emotions, your memories, your sensations all happen inside the brain's internal world. Phantom limbs reveal that the brain is not simply reacting, it is constantly predicting, imagining, and constructing reality. The phantom limb is a reminder that we never truly experience the world directly. We experience the world the brain creates for us. And if a missing hand can feel real, what else in our reality is shaped more by the brain's expectations than by physical truth? Phantom limbs are more than a medical mystery. They are a window into the brain's incredible ability to adapt, imagine, and rewire itself. They show us that the brain's map of the body is powerful. Sensations are not always tied to physical reality. Technology can reshape the boundaries of human experience. If you found this journey fascinating and you want more deep dives into the human brain, perception, consciousness, and the strange world of neuroscience, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss a video. And in the comments, tell us, what part of the phantom limb story surprised you the most? Thanks for watching. Be curious, stay curious,